Hi, I'm Bruce Bonebrake. Welcome to this installment of the AutoZone Do-It-Yourself video series. Your vehicle is an important investment, and doing your own maintenance is a great way to protect that investment. CV axles are major components of front-wheel drive transmission systems. CV axles are highly engineered products that perform several key functions that allow a front-wheel drive vehicle to operate safely. Although they are most commonly used in front-wheel drive vehicles, axles with CV joints are also used in vehicles with all-wheel drive and on some rear-wheel drive vehicles that have independent suspension. Because they transfer power from the engine to the drive wheels, axles used for front-wheel drive vehicles are referred to as drive axles. You'll also hear them called half shafts. Now, if you look at the drive axle, basically what we have the wheel end and we have the transaxle end of the axle right here. In between that, we have two joints, or CV joints. CV stands for constant velocity. Now, the way this is designed, on the wheel end of the drive axle, you'll see where it's able to swivel. As you turn the wheels, it has to have that pivot point. Basically, the joint that's used inside here is like a tri-joint, and it has the balls and the bearings in there, and it allows the wheels to turn from one lock to the other lock. Also, it allows the joint to move up and down. Now, on the other end of the drive axle, because the geometry of the front end is going to change, the length of the axle has to change, and that's where this joint comes in handy. This is like a plunge joint, and it's called that because it's able to go longer and shorter as the geometry of the front end changes with it. Now, what commonly happens to a drive axle, I've got one right here, it's a good example. Now, the CV joints are protected by a boot. When a boot fails, as this one has, it allows dirt and debris to enter into the joint, and also the grease that's in the joint will expel from the joint, so there's no lubrication there. The debris that gets into the joint will actually damage it, and it'll get it to the point that it'll wear the joint. Now, this would be an item that would be good to include in your periodic maintenance. Just look underneath the vehicle and see if the boots are still in good shape. If you can catch this early on, you might still be able to salvage the half shaft in the joint and be able just to put a boot kit on this and repack it, and you'll be fine. But most of the time, you'll see it when it's to this point here where it's been split long enough that enough debris is entered into the joint that it's destroyed it. Most common symptoms of this, you might hear a clicking sound, you might hear a popping sound, especially during a turn. Another symptom would be if you're driving down the road, you might have a vibration, almost like a wheel or tire's out of balance. Well, the vehicle we're going to work on today, we have a 1996 Nissan Maxima. It has a clicking sound, and I'm pretty sure it's coming from the CV axle. So our next step now is to go ahead and raise the car, place on jack stands, and take a good look at it. As with any job, to do it right, you'll need the right tools. The nice thing is that jobs we'll be covering today don't require a large, expensive assortment. Basic hand tools are generally all you'll need. In case where a specialty tool is required, be sure to check with AutoZone's Loan a Tool program. They have many specialty tools that can help you complete your job quicker and easier. The first things you'll need are a socket set, torque wrench, drop light, and a repair manual for your specific vehicle. You may also need screwdrivers or pliers to remove some components. A large socket and breaker bar are needed for removing the hub nut, ball-type hammer, and a ball joint separator tool to remove the tie rods. When the drive axle is removed, some lubricant will spill, so be sure to have a drain pan to place under the work.
When lifting a vehicle, never work under it until it has been secured with wheel blocks and securely positioned on jack stands. A hydraulic jack alone is never enough. Be cautious when working with oils and chemicals. Never drain or pour chemicals into the ground or sewer systems. Local municipalities and counties offer resources for proper disposal. And always remember to wear your safety glasses.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Get the entire DVD for this repair and all other procedures covered in the Complete Car Care series at your local AutoZone store.